I get so caught up in the middle, thinking of drowning in those blue eyes. I'm losing sight cause I am falling.
Hello everyone! So for today's topic, we will be discussing how to use insecticides. Ayan. So super timely kasi I know this rainy season, marami sa atin na problema ng mga pests like mealybugs, ants, aphids, ganyan, mites at kung ano-ano pa. We will break down the types of pests that we have or insects that we commonly have or commonly na common problems ng ating succulents, no? But first, I will show you first ano yung mga top 3 ko na ginagamit or yung ginagamit ko lang na chemicals or insecticides in my garden. So, number 1, for my organic route, I use diatomaceous earth. Ayan. You can see there. Si diatomaceous earth is actually fossilized diatoms. Ayan. And then, pinapowder form siya. There you go. What it does is actually, when you look at it under the microscope, it's like shards of glass. Very sharp siya. So, what it does is that yung mga joints ng mga insects, it goes through that. And then, it stabs the insect, no? And then, it also suffocates them. And then, they will eventually die because of suffocation. So, yun yung trabaho ni diatomaceous earth. The next one that I usually use kapag medyo malala na or talagang meron ako infestation like scales, mealies, aphids na medyo napabayaan na marami na talaga na feeling ko talagang hindi nakakayanin ng spray kasi usually kapag may isa-isa lang ako, I just spray with water. So, ilalagay ko lang siya sa parang ganyan, sa parang setting niya na buo yung liquid, no? Para na siya shoot out yung mealybug. Pero kapag hindi na kaya, then I proceed to using 7. So, 7 naman, I use this one. Again, please don't forget to wear your PPEs and your gloves because this chemical is very harmful to us, no? So, it's in a powdered form. It's a wettable formula. What you do is that you dilute this to 1 teaspoon to 1,000 ml or 1 liter of water like this one. Ayan. You mix it all together and then you add a couple of drops of Joy or dishwashing liquid para maging surfactant niya. Dahil si 7, kapag in-spray mo siya sa mealybug, hindi niya agad na penetrate yung insect. It will take a while. But if you put Joy with it, kumakapit siya, tatanggal yung waxy coating ng mealybug and eventually kills the insect. Yun. And then lastly, I use Charcoal G. This one, it's in granule form. So, ito naman, makikita nyo, granule form siya na purple. Yan. This one is, pag systemic naman siya. Kapag, ano bang systemic mistress, ano ba yung ganyan? So, there are 2 types of insecticide. So, number 1 is your contact insecticide like 7. Ito yung kailangan kumapit sa halaman, no? So, it will protect the plant or it will coat the plant. Yan. So, yun ang first natin. And the second one is yung systemic naman natin, like Charcoal G, na kapag nilagay mo siya sa lupa or sinama mo siya sa soil, eventually, iinumin siya ng plant and then the whole plant itself will become poisonous for the insect. So, ano bang difference ng bakit meron akong dalawang ganito at bakit meron akong contact at meron akong systemic? Okay. Meron kasi tayong different types of pests in our garden. Meron tayong crawling insects at saka biting insects. So, ano ba yung mga biting insects? Like, kunyari, ano yung pumapasok sa category na yan? Mealybugs, kumakagat siya sa stem or sa leaf ng plants natin. And then, iinumin niya yung juice before siya, yun ang source of food niya. Meron din tayong crawling insects like ants. So, kung ang problem mo, kunya nakita napansin mo, no, wala ka namang mealybugs pero ang daming langgam dun sa binahayan ka ng langgam binahayan ka ng langgam sa pot mo, no, sa plant mo, anong gagamitin mo? So, since wala akong makitang visible, no, let's say, kunyari, ito yun, wala akong makitang visible na mealybug on the stem or on the flowers, pero napapansin ko marami akong ants dito sa pot ko, I will use 7. Si 7, ang gagawin ko sa kanya, spray and then soil drench. If full water ko siya using 7. Yan. But, let's say naman, ang nakita ko naman is puro mealybugs. Let's say puro mealybugs yung puro mealybugs or biting insects yung mga nakita ko, aphids or yan nga, mealybugs, aphids, no. Nakita kong mga kumakagat or scales yung mga kumakagat sa halaman ko. Then, what I do is I use my systemic Starkle G. Kasi minsan, yung mga nakikita ting biting insect sa ibabaw, possible din na may mga biting insect tayo sa ilalim. And para maiwasan po natin na mag-uproot, no, yung tanggal tayo ng tanggal ng halaman sa pot, naglalagay na lang ako ng Starkle G kasi sobrang bilis niyang gumana. Sobrang effective niya when it comes to yung time of yung release niya, no. So let's say maglagay ako ng Starkle G on the soil here, no. Pag diniligan ko yan pagkatapos kong lagyan, give or take a couple of days, wala na ako makikitang mealybugs or aphids or kung ano man siyang mga biting insects sa halaman. Kasi nainom na nung halaman yung gamot. Yun. So, para kapag, usually kasi pag mayroon ka mealies on the top, may mealies ka on the bottom, on the roots. Pwedeng meron ka ring mga root mealies, ganyan. So, para ma-make sure mo na wala kang peste pati sa ilalim, I use systemic, well, mostly all of the time, no. What I do is, I include Starkle G in my soil mix para kahit wala pa silang ugat, ready na siya. Kapag nag-start na siyang maugat, makakainom na siya agad. But then again, yun nga, I just need to explain that when you're using systemic pesticides or systemic insecticides, please make sure that you cut the blooms. Because when you use systemic pesticides or insecticide, even your bloom now becomes poisonous. So, pwede siyang pumatay ng mga pollinators natin kasi nga yung bloom niya may flower, no. So, yung mga pollinators natin like bees and other flying insects, namamatay din sila kapag nakainom sila nito. So, part dapat ng responsibility natin when we're using systemic insecticides or pesticide is that we don't let the blooms go pop, hindi natin dapat, or dapat tinatanggal natin yung mga bloom stalks natin. Ayan. But if you want to see your bloom stalk, wag muna kayong gumamit ng Starkle G, ng systemic, no. Ayan. Kasi meron din tayong systemic sa fungus, meron din tayong systemic contact sa fungicides, no. So, magkaiba yan. But yun nga, yung sa mga bago na ngayon pa lang naririnig ko ano yung difference ng systemic at saka ng contact. Yun po siya. So, there. So, how do we actually use it? So, ito na yung ating first part, no. I have 3 steps. I have 3 steps in my, in how I use my insecticides. First step is, of course, I wear my PPE or I protect myself from the chemicals that I will use, or if I will be using a chemical that is harmful to me. So, number 1 yan. Number 2 is figure out if my problem is a biting insect or a crawling insect. So, let's say, ang nakita ko are yung mga borers, yung natatanggal ng lupa, ganyan, ano. Ang ginagawa kasi nun, mga yun, may makikita kayong parang malaking wasp na strange looking insect na magkakalkal ng lupa. Ilalabas yung mga bato-bato mo. Ang ginagawa niya, nagdidig siya ng hole kasi para dun siya mag-lay ng egg. So, after a while, hindi siya pest ngayon, but it might be a pest afterwards. Kasi pwedeng kainin yung ugat nyo, yung larvae niya, pwedeng kainin yung ugat ng halaman nyo or stuff like that, ano. So, to avoid them, what I usually do is, again, last step ko po ang paggamit ng chemicals. So, what I will initially do is, I will sprinkle diatomaceous earth. Ayan. I'll sprinkle generously kasi this one, again, is non-toxic and it's, what do you call this? Organic. So, hindi siya delikado sa tao, hindi siya delikado sa mga hayop natin, hindi rin siya delikado sa mga bata. Wag lang ma-inhale kasi syempre irritant pa rin siya. Ayan. So minsan ako kinakalat ko pang ganyan ano. But they have to remember also part ng trabaho ni DE is that tawag dito, it only works kapag dry siya. So kapag bagong dilig ka, hindi siya actually effective. Ayan. So, for those asking, Miss Dolls, bakit gano'n? Nilagyan ko naman yung DE yung soil ko, but hindi pa rin nawawala, ganyan. Maybe because your soil is always moist, or the area, or the DE that you put is always moist, so hindi siya nagiging effective as it should be. So, what you do is, kapag nasa area kayo na may lupa kayo, no, when you have a garden, and then your ground is pure soil, iangat nyo, i-elevate nyo yung halaman nyo, and then sprinkle DE all over the soil, sprinkle DE all over the nearby walls. Yan yung magpaprotect sa area nyo, no? Or near your shelves. Ako, nag-sprinkle ako all over my shelves. Yan. Yung tipong parang, kunyari, ito yung table ng mga halaman ko, diba? O, sprinkle ko lang siya dyan, ganyan, o. Sprinkle ko dyan. Nagkakalat lang ako, pero okay lang. I don't mind the kalat kasi, again, kapag ganitong insect season, malamig, tapos umuulan, moist lagi yung area. Yan ang number 1 playground ng mga insects. Gustong-gusto nila yung ganyan na basa and moist, no? So, babahayan nila yung mga halaman mo. Tapos, syempre, maglalagay sila ng mealy bugs dun sa ano mo, adi smorgasbord na sila, diba? So, yan ang first step ko. If I feel that it's still not effective and after a week, mapansin ko na recurring pa rin, ano, even after prolonged usage of DE, yung tipong kalahati na ng pot mo, DE na, wala pa rin solusyon, joke lang. Then I proceed with my next my next in line. So again, if it's a biting insect, I will use the chemical that is for biting insects. So what I will do is, yan, diretso na ako kay Starkle G. So how do I use Starkle G? All I have to do is sprinkle just a little, actually just a pinch, no? Yung isang kurot lang, and then I'll just put it all over the soil. Ayan. And then after that, I actually water the plant. So kapag naglagay na ako dyan, ayan, here, so nilagyan ko siya, diba? Ayan, tapos didiligan ko na siya para mainom niya na yung yung Starkle G. Ayan. There. So now, this plant is now protected by Starkle G. Lahat na ng insect dyan na kumakagat, papatayin niya na. Kaya nga minsan matataka tayo, Ma'am, may Starkle G naman ako, pero bakit ganon? Yung halaman ko may langgam pa rin. Because we're not targeting you're not using the right chemical for the right pest, for the right insect. So, kung hindi siya kumakagat, syempre, yun nga, since systemic si Starkle G, kailangan muna siyang kagatin bago siya maging effective yon. So, pag gano'n, hindi ko makagat yung insect, kaya marami kang insect dun sa pot mo, then you proceed with 7. Ayan, this one. We'll use this one. Ayan, si 7. So, what you do is, you mix, there we go. You mix 1 teaspoon. Let's see if I have my scooper here. Ayan. 1 level teaspoon to 1 liter. So, level teaspoon meaning flat, no? Ayan. 1 teaspoon yan. Pero yan, level siya. And then, I put that in the water. Okay. And make sure, again, you're using sealed, no? Ayan. Sealed siya. And then, I put a little drop, siguro mga 2 to 3 drops of dishwashing liquid. quart. That's fine. Ayan. Super konti lang. And then, I just mix it. So, after I mix it, I put it in my sprayer. So, yeah. Here. Ayan. I put it in my sprayer. Ayan. And then, let's say, ito yung halaman na, kunyari, ito yung halaman na mayroong, sabi natin may mealybug siya, and kung ano pa mga biting insects. So, you shake, you agitate the mixture, and then you spray directly on the pest. And then, the crevices, sama mo na. Ayan. And then, spray to protect the entire plant. Ang hindi lang maganda kay 7 is that si 7 is nag-stain. But kasi it needs to do that. Kailangan niya rin kasing mag-stain para kumapit siya dun sa leaves, no? Kasi ang si 7, kailangan niyang kumapit para gumana. Why? Let's say may crawling insect dyan, dumapo dyan. Diba usually they clean up them after themselves, no? And then madidilaan nung insect yung kamay at saka paa niya. Kasi nililinis niya, di ba? Doon sila namamatay. So, let's say ants, when they touch the plant na with 7, and they clean up after themselves, they lick it, and then they get poisoned. So, yun yung reason kung bakit kailangan din kasi ni 7 na mag-stain, kung bakit siya nag-stain. And then, kapag yun nga, if you notice that you have insects or ants on your soil, as in, minsan makita mo, di ba, parang hundreds ng ants lumalabas sa ilalim, lumalabas sa ibabaw, then what I do is, I do my soil drench. Ayan. So, I do my soil drench. I-drench ko siya hanggang sa mapuno siya ng, hanggang sa mag-drip yung ilalim. Ay, hindi pa siya nag-drip. Ayan, sige. So, parang you can do this on your full watering day. Kapag mag-full water day ka. Ayan. So, when you see the pot drips na, yun. So, alam mong, ngayon, buong pot mo and buong soil mo, na-covera na siya ng 7. And then, what I do is, I leave the fan open and na nakatapat sa kanila para matuyo agad matuyo agad yung 7 sa leaves nila. You can also try using a fine mist setting, no, for the plant or avoid it na mag-start mag-drip para yung stain niya hindi bilog-bilog kasi minsan nakakainis yung stain na sobrang ang pangit tignan, parang parang pag ito yung ulan. And I'm sure halos lahat sa atin na nag-aalaga ng succulents, yun ang number one problem, na pumapangit yung itsura ng halaman nila. Kasi syempre, we want our plants to be pristine looking, ganyan minsan din, pag nagka-soil drench din ako, like this one, ang ginagawa ko lang, yun nga, kung ants and other borers lang yung problema ko, what I do is, I just get a syringe, like this one, So, ayan. I just get a big syringe like this one. And then, I just stab the ground, the soil. And then, dyan ko na lang siya nilalagay. Ayan. Ilang ml, doesn't matter for me. Yun nga, ang hinahabol ko talaga is yung madrench yung buong pot, no? Madrench yung buong pot para, what you call this? Para yung buong loob malagyan siya. Ayan. So, I do this during my full watering day, again, para hindi sila pasukin ng hindi rin ako ma-overwater. And usually I do my syringe method with my chemicals for soil drench when I have plants that are sensitive to water like this one. Hindi ko siya masyado binabasa on top kasi nabubulok yung leaves. Lalo na ganito, medyo clump na siya, naka-clump na siya, na tinatamaan yung na nabubulok yung sa loob. So, to avoid that, I just really water on the soil with chemicals. Ayun. And then after that, of course, we have to wait a couple of days. Usually for Startle G, ang effectivity niya, if you want to use it for maintenance, Miss Dots, I want to have a maintenance with my insecticide kasi ayokong bumabalik-balik yung mealybugs. Then what I do is yun nga, naglalagay na ako ng Startle G on the soil. So ang Startle G, ang effectivity niya is every 45 days. So that is more than a month. That is one and a half months. But based on experience, ako po nagagamit yung unang-unang gamit ko ng Startle G, tumagal sa akin ng mga half a year, wala akong insect, parang ganun, na-eradicate siya lahat. Nung lahat ng pots ko, nilagyan ko. So, a good half a year, I was able to not have any pest. But ngayon tag-ulan and sobrang rampant talaga ang mga mealybugs ngayon. Sobrang aggressive na mga ants, ganyan So, ang napansin ko, every 2 months of putting Startle G on your soil will be enough to avoid mealybugs in your garden. Ayan. So, if you have more plants, the more Startle G you need. Kasi medyo, it's on the pricier side. Ang Startle G, I think, ang 100 grams is around 180 pesos to 200 to 220 pesos, I think, no? And then, I think yung 1 kilogram niya is around 1,800. So, pero parang, yun nga, parang nasa 180 pesos din siya. So, ako, ginagawa ko talaga, I just buy the small packs para laging fresh. And then, like this one, yung ganito kalaki, mauubos ko to ng siguro half a year, ganyan, 6 months or 8 months, kasi marami akong halaman. So, I sprinkle it everywhere all the time. So, ginagawa ko, may schedule ako. Every 45 days to 2 months, pag ginanahan, I sprinkle it all over. So, halos lahat ng plants ko, mapapansin nyo, meron talagang Startle G. Yan ang favorite ko kasi most often than not, I can let go of the usually kasi kunya like ants. Ang ants naman, hindi naman talaga siya pest per se to our plants. Yung mealybugs na dala-dala nila yung problema. So, ang ginagawa ko, tinatarget ko na agad yung mealybugs kasi yung ants, kung walang mealybugs, it doesn't matter for me kung may ants siya. Parang ganun. Hindi ako masyado worried kapag ants lang yung nakikita ko. Nag-worry ako pag may nakita na akong parang white cottony stuff sa mga gilid-gilid. Sabi ko, alam ko na, meron na akong mealybugs yan. Then, I go Startle G. Maaalala ko, nga pala, I forgot to put Startle G on this one for a long time na. So, ayun, balik-lagay lang ako ng Startle G. Kaya, for me, ang pinaka-favorite ko talaga is this tree. Ayan, yan ang aking go-to pesticides yan. Pag hindi na talaga kaya ng DE, I go Startle G or 7. Actually, last ko ang 7 kasi hindi ko naman masyado talaga problem ang mga crawling insects. More on the biting insects talaga ako. Kaya Startle G ang aking and DE ang aking favorite 2 na ginagamit. So, I hope that helps you guys and yun nga, I hope you learn how to use your chemicals, no? Figure out first kung biting insect ba siya or crawling insect lang siya. If you know that it's a biting insect, go for a systemic. But again, please be reminded that if you're using any systemic chemicals, please remove your blooms or your flower stalks to avoid poisoning the pollinators. So, yun lang naman. And again, if this one helped you or you like this video, please do like, subscribe, and share. And hope to see you soon. Bye!
Oh, carry all that you've got.